Oh shit. Here we go again.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, here we go again. For the fifth time this season, for the second time this month, for the second time in just a matter of 4 days. Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid. Hansi Flick versus Diego Simeone, which is not going to be the ninth encounter between both managers, as last season we played them 4 times, twice for La Liga and twice for the Copa del Rey, and now this season we're going to play them for the 5th time, as we already played them twice for La Liga and twice for the Copa del Rey. Man, what is going on here, bro? We just cannot get enough of Atletico Madrid, can we? I'm tired of going up against them, but hey, we have to do it again, and this time it is the biggest one. It is the most important one, because this time it is for the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And let me just say something real quick. If you're a neutral, and if you love the beautiful game, if you want to see a great game, if you want to see a big clash, I recommend that you watch this game right here. Because on Wednesday, PSG and Liverpool play at the same time, but you have to watch this clash between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, because this one is going to be a dogfight. Because let's be honest now, come on. PSG are going to wipe the floor with Liverpool. But this game right here, ladies and gentlemen, as much as I hate to say it, because I am a Barca fan, I want Barcelona to win, and I have a lot of confidence that we can get the job done. This game is still very unpredictable, because Atletico Madrid always give us a very difficult time, man. Under Hansi Flick, they just always have given us a difficult time. Diego Simeone, the way that he sets up his team, the tactics that they play, is just a kryptonite to the way that we play. With the high line and everything, man, they just give us a dogfight every single time. So best believe for this first leg of the quarterfinals of the Champions League at the Camp Nou, it is going to be a dogfight. As we all know, the first leg is going to be played at the Camp Nou, so that means Barcelona for this game have to go for the kill. They have to try and end this tie in this first leg so we can go comfortably to the second leg and get through to the semifinals of the Champions League. But the first big step is this first leg right here. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about the potential lineups that I think both teams will be going out with, who will be the important players for each team, and what is my final prediction for how this game is going to end. Whew, man, I'm excited. I'm a bit nervous because Champions League nights, man, they always bring a little bit of nerves out of you. But still, I'm very excited and I'm confident, man. If there's one team I'm confident in and one manager I'm confident that can get the job done, it is Hansi Flick and it is Barcelona. But let's quickly go over it, boys. Let's quickly talk about this matchup right here. So, as we all know, we've already played each other 4 times this season. Earlier this season in La Liga, we beat them 3-1. Then we went away to the Metropolitano to face them for the first leg of the Copa del Rey semifinals, and they beat us 4-0. We got completely embarrassed, completely destroyed. Embarrassing display for Barcelona. Yes, we were missing Rafinha and Pedri, but still no excuse for how terribly we played in that match. And then we played them for the second leg of the Copa del Rey at the Camp Nou. We beat them 3-0. An excellent match from Barcelona. Of course, we didn't get our final objective, which is try and get the remontada to try and get to the final of the Copa del Rey, but nonetheless, this was a great game for Barcelona. We completely dominated Atletico Madrid, completely all over them. We won the game, and it was a beautiful game for Barcelona. And then as a reason from this weekend, where we went away to the Metropolitano yet again for the second time in La Liga, and we got a 2-1 victory, which was a crucial win for our La Liga title race, as now we're 7 points clear of Real Madrid, and very, very, very likely we're going to win La Liga this season, unless Barcelona completely fumble it, which I don't see that happening. But what are the major talks after this game right here, especially from Atletico Madrid fans, especially in the world of Twitter, was the fact that the heavy rotations they made in this game. The heavy rotations that Diego Simeone made for this game. Because as we can see right here, this is nowhere near the strongest 11. Nowhere near. They're missing a lot of key players. Diego Simeone decided to bench a lot of key players. And of course, some players were suspended as well. But this is nowhere near the strongest team, right? So this is 100% not the team that we're going to face this Wednesday. But the arrogance from Atletico Madrid fans, like, do you not have any shame? Do you guys not have any shame at all? Like, do you understand why you played this B team, right? I hope you understand. But if you don't understand, I'll remind you. The reason you played your B team was not only because you want to focus in the Champions League, but it also has a lot to do with the fact that this season you have been hot garbage in La Liga. 19 points behind Barcelona. 19 points from the top. Embarrassing. And before that game, 16 points before. So even if you had won that game, come on, it really wouldn't have meant anything at all. But like the arrogance I saw from Atletico Madrid fans. Oh, we gave you a game with our B team. Yeah, you played your B team because you guys been hard garbage in the Liga. But all right, everyone knew that going into that game, you were probably going to make rotations. You know, I actually thought that Diego Simeone was going to play a bit of a stronger team, a bit of a stronger game. Maybe put Julian in there, Lookman in there, put some stronger players because he wants to prepare for what's to come for the first leg of the quarterfinals. But no, he decided to rest his key players because he wants to fully focus on what trophies he has left in his disposal, which is, of course, the Copa del Rey final, which he has to play in a couple of weeks against Real Sociedad, and now this clash against Barcelona for the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So it's understandable, but that shamelessness from Atletico Madrid fans saying that, oh, we played our B team, yeah, because you've been out of the Liga. you've been embarrassing so far in this La Liga season. But yes, so we can definitely say that Atletico Madrid for this game, they have a slight advantage over us in terms of their personnel because they benched a lot of their key players. They rested a lot of their key players, while us, we had to play our key players. We had to play our strongest team because obviously that was a major game for us to go 7 points clear of Real Madrid, considering with the game that happened earlier that day when they went to Mallorca and lost to them. So we wanted to go for the kill for that game so we can get that lead against them that we got after that weekend. But that's the slight advantage Atletico Madrid definitely have. But again, we do have the advantage of playing at home, playing in front of our fans. So that means we have to try and get the job done. Now, when it comes to the potential lines for both teams, what I'm seeing right here from Atletico Madrid, FOMOB, I think actually got it precisely right. I think this is exactly how Atletico Madrid are going to line up for tomorrow. I think this is their strongest team, maybe without the likes of Pubil, who usually tends to be one of the main center backs. I'm not seeing him in the injury list, so I think he's probably going to be available. He might even start. I'm not sure. I haven't really seen any news about how fully fit, because he was doubtful for the last game, so he might come back for this game. I don't know, but if anything, Lenormand is going to play as a center back, but it's either Lenormand or it's going to be Pubil. But besides that, the rest of the team, I think, speaks for itself. I think this is the strongest team that Atletico Madrid and Diego Simeone tend to put up. So Musso in goal, back in Molina, Lenormand, Hanko, Ruggieri, midfield of Simeone, Llorente, Coque, Lookman, and up top Griezmann and Julian Alvarez. So I think this is exactly the lineup that Atletico Madrid are going to be going up with for this game. Now for Barcelona, I think we can make a couple changes right here because FOMOB, for some reason, I don't know who runs this account, because I'm seeing two players already that makes absolutely no sense as to why they're in this 11. But going over it, Joan Garcia in goal, obviously 100%. In the back line, Cancelo, Gerard Martin, Cubarsí, I think they're just spot on. Right back, and now that's the question mark. Are we going to play Eric Garcia or Jules Koundé? Araujo is discarded from this. Yes, he got hurt in the last game against Atletico Madrid. He will be fine. He will be available, but obviously he's not fully fit. We don't want to risk him. So it's going to be between Eric Garcia and Jules Koundé. And personally, I would go with Jules Koundé. I think just play their best player in their best position, and I would rather have Jules Koundé right there as a right back. Now, when it comes to the midfield, another question mark right here. I think Pedri and Fermin are quite obvious. Now, who's going to play alongside Pedri in the midfield, in the pivot role? Because obviously, Bernal went out with an injury against Atletico Madrid this weekend, and he's going to be out for the next 10 games, the next 10 days. So he won't be available for this matchup, which is very unfortunate, because if he was available, I put him in straight away. But he will not be available. Frankie is still not available. He might be back for the second leg of the quarterfinals, but he will not be back for this game. So we only have a couple options: either Gavi, either Eric Garcia, either Casado, or Dani Olmo playing as our midfielder next alongside Pedri. To finish off real quick, Rashford on the left. I genuinely don't know why Fedon is there. Come on, FOMOB, what are you doing with your lives? Rashford's going to be on the left. I think Leo will be playing up top, and Lamine Yamal on the right-hand side. Now, who will play alongside Pedri? Gavi, Casado, Eric Garcia, or Dani Olmo? I personally would go with Dani Olmo. I would go with Dani Olmo in the midfield alongside Pedri Gonzalez, mainly because I think Dani Olmo has done the job in the past. If we want to have a little bit of control, we can get that with Dani Olmo alongside Pedri, because I think most people are probably going to say Eric Garcia in the midfield, because Gavi and Casado I'm discarding completely, because Casado has been awful throughout this whole season, and Gavi, he hasn't really got enough minutes to come into this big Champions League matchup and play with the kind of intensity that we need from this matchup. I don't think Gavi is suited for that yet. In the dying minutes or in the second half, yes, but to start off, 100%, no way. So it's between Eric Garcia or Dani Olmo, realistically. I don't want to see Eric Garcia in the midfield, because I think at this point he's a liability. This weekend, I thought he was awful in the midfield. I thought he was pretty much non-existent, and that's why we struggled a lot throughout that game, because the lack of control in the midfield, it was evident, and especially with the likes of Eric Garcia completely disappearing and not being there. it makes it worse for us, right? Where Pedri a lot throughout that times was held with the whole responsibility of him doing it himself, where he didn't really have much support. And Eric Garcia, we know he's not that progressive as a midfielder, man. He always wants to play the safe option because playing as a midfielder is a completely different role than playing as a right back or as a defender in general, right? It's a completely different game. So Eric Garcia, he can fill in at times against smaller teams, against teams that we have, better chances of beating 100%. But in this kind of game, I don't see it, man. We've seen it in the past against Chelsea as well, where against Chelsea, we were god awful as well because we had no control in the midfield. We were non-existent in the midfield, and Eric Garcia was part of that. So I don't want to see Eric Garcia play there. I can understand some people wanting to put him in there because we need some type of defensive presence in the midfield. But I'd rather have Dani Olmo play in the midfield. I'd rather have Dani Olmo alongside Pedri and then Fermin as the number 10. And then, of course, Dani Olmo, he's done the job already. He's been one of the players that Hansi Flick has trusted in the past whenever we didn't have Frankie, whenever we didn't have Pedri. He's trusted Dani Olmo to play as our number 8 role, playing that, midfielder role. So I have more trust with Dani Olmo playing there than I have with the likes of Casado, Gavi, or Eric Garcia as of right now. And this weekend against Atletico Madrid, Dani Olmo had a great game. He had a great game where he was playing our false 9 role. That's another option people were talking about. He's probably going to play the false 9 role again. But I think for this game, since we need goals and we want to try to kill them off, I'd rather have Lewa in there, considering what he just did this weekend. He got us the game winner. Yes, it was luck. Yes, that was striker's luck right there. That's all I can say. That is striker's luck, man. Sometimes you need that kind of luck, and the strikers mostly get that luck because of the movements they make. They get it in the right place at the right time. I wouldn't, that saying. There's not such thing as a terrible goal or a bad goal. Lucky goals, yes, but it's also about, Lewa being at the right place at the right time, right? We can definitely say that. So I'd rather have Lewa up there, so someone that we can feed, someone that we can, give those chances to, and I think that's something we were missing against Atletico Madrid this weekend. So I'd rather have Lewa up there. Ferran, 100% not. But I'd rather have Dani Olmo in the midfield alongside Pedri and then Fermin as our number 10. Now, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with that, or you guys have Eric Garcia in the midfield, blah, blah? Let me know what lineup you guys would go with. But that's the lineup that I would go with. Let me reiterate one more time. Joan Garcia in goal, Joao Cancelo, Martin Cubarsí, Jules Koundé, Pedri, Fermin, Dani Olmo, Rashford, Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal. That's the lineup that I will put if I were Hansi Flick. Now, when it comes to the important players, who will be the important players for Atletico Madrid? I think I'm going to say the same 2 players that I said for this weekend's game, who I said were going to be the important players, which were Simeone and Griezmann. But now I'm going to add to that, of course, the likes of Lookman as well. Everyone's going to be important, right? The Julian Alvarez is always going to be a major impact for them now with the pressing that he offers, the finishing that he offers. If we give him the opportunity, he's going to cause a lot of problems. He's going to cause a lot of threat. Julian Alvarez, even though in the second leg of the Copa del Rey, he was awful. He didn't really do much. Lookman now and Simeone, I think, are going to be very dangerous players in this game because one thing that I've definitely noticed against Atletico Madrid and a lot of teams in general is the amount of space we leave in the wide areas, man. It's very concerning. It's very concerning. And when you have the likes of Simeone, Lookman, who like to make runs in behind, who are very quick players, who like to play quick as well, they're very threatful, man. They're very threatful. We saw that in the game, how perfectly timed runs Simeone can make. That goal that he got against us in the weekend, a perfectly timed run in between our lines, a great pass from Lenglet, yes, but a great first touch and then a great finish, right? But that's the threat that Simeone makes. He makes great timed runs, and the likes with Lookman, we're going to get the same thing on the left-hand side. So that's something we have to be very careful about because as much as we're going to play at home and for the most part we're going to dominate, we're going to play better, they're still gonna try to hit us at counterattacks, right? They're still gonna press us, and Simeone is a big part of that, and Lookman will be part of that for the counterattacks they try to attempt. Even in the second leg of the Copa del Rey, the most dangerous player was Lookman, so we had to be careful with him. But I'm expecting Lookman, Simeone to have big games. Griezmann, I said it for the weekend's game, he was going to be a big player. He was for the most part. He did pretty well. He could have scored 2 goals on us. I'm surprised he didn't really. But I think a big difference will also be Ruggeri, Llorente being in the midfield for sure, bringing that energy, bringing that quick play as well, the counterattacking that Llorente can offer as well. He's going to be a threat as well. Ruggeri, I would say for the most part as well. Lamine Yamal is going to have a bigger challenge with Ruggeri than what he had with Nico Gonzalez. Really, come on, Nico Gonzalez is not a defender whatsoever. So against Ruggeri, Lamine Yamal will have more of a difficult time. I think he can get the best out of him, but I don't think Ruggeri is going to be left in one-on-one situations either way against Lamine at all times. So, but Ruggeri is very threatful on counterattacks, man. He's 1-2s with Lookman and whoever he's playing with on the left-hand side. He does it very well, and he makes some great crosses. So he's someone we have to keep our eyes on a lot. But listen, the way the Atletico Madrid play, like I said, it's a kryptonite against us, man. With the Highland that we play, they have very intelligent players. They have a system. They have a way of playing, which is quick football, a little 1-2 over the top, boom, hit you on counterattacks, man. I feel like I'm repeating myself every other game that I've made previews for this matchup against Atletico Madrid. I'm basically saying this exact same thing because it is the truth. That's the way that they play against us, and they get the better of us sometimes when they play like that. So Barcelona definitely have to keep their eyes open, be focused 100%, but also the press and everything that we have to do on our end has to be spot on as well, so we can suffocate them, so we can completely dominate them like we did in the second leg of the Copa del Rey. That's what I want to see. For us, obviously, the main players are going to be the likes of Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side. Let's just focus on Rashford, pretend fit on this right now right there. So Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side, he did great on the weekend. He got a great goal. He got us back into the game. He, for the most part, played with some confidence. He defended a bit at times as well, which is something I like to see as well, because that's not really innate in him to really do. So I want to see that again. I want to see him repeat what he did for this weekend's game, but a little bit more, man. Just when you need to, take a little more confidence, try it on your own. Don't give up after just losing the ball once, because I hate to see sometimes when players complain and just stand still after they lose the ball. No, fight for it again. Go for it again. Try again. I would never blame a player for trying. If they continue to try, and at one point it finally works, great. But I would never blame a player for trying. And Marcus Rashford is a player who likes to try. Now try even further, try even harder, because this game is going to be very crucial. So Marcus Rashford, we need you to step up. You stepped up this weekend. Now these are the bigger games. These are the big games you need to step up in. So hopefully he does step up for this. The likes of Pedri, and then Pedri, unfortunately for him, he's going to be lacking a little bit of the defensive presence with the likes of no Bernal in there, no Frankie, but Frankie's not even that kind of player that you focus on too much to have great defensive presence in the midfield either way. So I think that alongside Dani Olmo, he can be a bit comfortable still. He can still have a pretty good game, but for the most part, Pedri is going to be someone we have to look at, because Llorente is back, Coque is back, Simeone, they have the strongest team now, so Pedri is someone that we're going to have to be looking at to be our difference maker when we need him to. Someone that can get us out there press, someone who can, obviously open up the game for us. And Pedri, we can have a lot of confidence that he can do that against us. He did sensational in the second leg of the Copa del Rey, where he came back into the game, came back to the team. He was amazing, bro. He played throughout the whole game, even when he was tired as fuck. Hansi Flick wanted to take him out. He's like, nope, I'm still playing. Even in tired legs, he was defending well. He was still great. I'm expecting the same exact thing, bro, because at home, we haven't lost at all. We haven't lost at home, so I'm expecting these guys to want to not only beat them, but continue that streak of winning at home, to continue to dominate at home, and I'm sure someone like Pedri keeps that in mind, but Pedri's just a winner in general, bro. This guy has the mentality of a winner, so I'm expecting a big game from him. And the other guy who I'm 100% looking at is Lamine Yamal. This weekend, he did great. He was amazing. In that second half, when Atletico Madrid went down to 10 men, they were defending for their lives, right? And the only player we were trying to give the ball to at all times to find a solution for us was Lamine Yamal, because he's just that kind of player. Even at some points where he just did it by himself, ran through 5 to 6 players by himself, and trying to get us something from those games. Like, all right, no one's helping me out, let me do it myself, right? That's the kind of impactful player Lamine Yamal can be. And I'm looking at him to be that kind of impact player for this game right here, because he is that guy. We've seen him do it multiple times. No matter what, he can do it. And especially in a big Champions League night, I'm expecting a big game from Lamine Yamal. But the expectations are always high from Lamine Yamal, and he always tends to deliver. So, as much as I'm expecting him to do it, I know he will. I have full confidence Lamine Yamal will step up. And obviously with the likes of João Cancelo, hopefully being a major impact like he was for the second goal to get us the game winner that we got from this weekend. Everyone has to step up, bro. Everyone has to step up, especially with the absence of Rafinha. We all know how big of an absence Rafinha is. That's a big absence because of the press, and we saw it this weekend as well. How disorganized our press was at times. How many times we led Atletico Madrid by themselves. Open players at all times. It's completely unacceptable. So Barcelona, everyone has to work their asses off. Everyone has to get it right up here. Be 100% focused and understand this is a Champions League night and Champions League knockout game, which is going to be very defining for our season, because we have the Liga pretty much, we can say, in the bag. Confidently, we can probably say that right now. But now the Champions League, this is where all goes down. Do we want to replicate what we did last season and try to go for all the trophies? We already won one trophy this season with the Supercopa de España. We want to go for La Liga, which is most likely going to happen. Now, the biggest one of them all, the Champions League. And I'm sure every one of them remembers the disappointment from last season when it comes to the semifinal against Inter. So now this season, they want to do it again, go back to where they were last season, getting to the semifinal, and this time completely change the story and get to the final and try to win the sixth for Barcelona. So these players understand the importance of this game. I really hope they do. I know they do because Hansi Flick has instilled a winning mentality in this team. So best believe 100% am confident that we can get a big result in this game. I mean, I'm confident, bro. But yeah, everyone has to step in. Again, the things that we really have to fix up is, from when I saw from this weekend, yes, we were playing their B team, but it's still a matter of things that we've done in the past against Atletico Madrid, even against their strongest team, is the lack of press sometimes. Obviously, without legs of Rafinha, we saw the difference between the first leg of the Copa del Rey without Rafinha, and then we saw the second leg with Rafinha. It's different, right? That's what Rafinha does. Like, he's just that much of a beast for us, right? Now, without him, we're losing a little bit of that. We're losing a little bit of that energy and that press up top. So, again, like I said, everyone has to work their asses off. Be very efficient with the press, man. Let's just not be all over the place, bro. Let's just not press to press. Let's just not run to run. No, let's go in with the purpose of shutting their players down. Let's not keep open players at all times like we just saw this weekend. That was the most embarrassing part of the first half before they got the red card. How many times we allowed an open player at their own half so they can just quickly play out from behind us and then hit us on counterattacks. So let's not allow that. Let's press efficiently, and for the major plea, for the God of me, please, for God's sakes, take your chances, man. The amount of chances we miss, it's annoying at times, because we can kill games off, but we miss too many chances, bro. We miss too many chances. We can create the chances, because this is the football that Hansi Flick has instilled for this team. Attack, goal for goals, kill teams. But the amount of chances we miss sometimes is unacceptable. So please take your chances. Kill this game off immediately. Put the pressure on them. Show them who are the big boys, bro. Who are the big boys? Who have the history in the Champions League? Who have the prestige in the Champions League? Because they don't have any at all. They've never won one. They don't have any type of prestige. So show them who the big boys are. Show them who the world-class players are. Show them who the better team is, as in Barcelona, and defeat Atletico Madrid. Please, man. Please. I'm confident we can do it. I'm very confident that we can do it. Diego Simeone is a known choker when it comes to the Champions League and when it comes to the important games. And I am confident that he can do it again. That he'll do it again for this game, for this matchup, and we'll get the better of Atletico Madrid. Woo! I'm excited, boys. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this game. I think we can do it, man. I think we can do it. And the final result for this game, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we have to go for the kill. I want to see the direct replication of what we did for the second leg of the Copa del Rey. I think we can do it. Do I think they're going to score? I feel like they will score, which is unfortunate, because Champions League nights, bro. we always get scored on. We always get scored on in Champions League nights. We always get scored on these big games. I think we'll get scored on. I predicted we would get scored on this weekend, and we did. I think we'll get scored on. I think the score 1, 3, 4. 4-1 Barcelona. 4-1 Barcelona goes from Lewandowski, Fermín López, Pedri, and Lamine Yamal. Fuck it. 4 different goal scorers. Or Lewo Brace. I don't care. 4-1 Barcelona. And from there on, I'll give him a little Griezmann goal. Little Griezmann goal. But 4-1 Barcelona. Fuck it. Let me just keep it at that. Let me not say no more. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a big game. It's going to be an important game. It's going to be a big one. Hopefully, Barcelona get the job done, man. Please, man. Let's go back-to-back semifinals, boys. Let's go back-to-back semifinals. At the Camp Nou, at home, in front of our fans. Let's get the job done. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this game. Are you nervous? Are you excited? What is the lineup that you guys would put, especially in the midfield? And what is your final prediction for the scoreline for this first leg of the Copa del Rey, for the Champions League quarterfinals? I keep thinking of Copa del Rey because we played for the first leg of the quarterfinals. What is your final prediction for this first match? Will we destroy them? Will we lose? Will we get embarrassed? Will we tie? Do you think it's all going to be going down to in the second leg? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe, favorite, hit the notification bell for everything me, although share your friends love football, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Whenever that is, much love, take care. God bless, and peace.